Hello everyone and welcome back to Sew Granny Sew and our Quilt Builder card deck series, where I will be sharing with you a total of 48 of the unique pattern blocks. My name is Melissa and I would like to take a moment just to personally thank each and every one of you for supporting my channel with all the likes, comments, subs, and shares. I'd also like to tell you how blessed it makes me feel when you take time out of your busy schedule to view the videos I put out. This truly does mean the world to me. I will be linking in the description below the Quilt Builder card decks so that if you are wishing to purchase those, you may do so. Now that we got all that covered, why don't you join me at the table and we'll get started on block 18. Number. So, as you can see, we took one out of the Quilt Builder card deck number 3, and it is called the letter X. But I wanted to show you on Quilt Builder card deck number 1 and 2, you can see that they're not lining up with that because they use 4 sections. If you imagine 2 of them in that one. And the Quilt Builder card deck uses all 3 sections for their cards. So on the 1 and 2, they have 6, 8, 12, etc. And on the Quilt Builder card deck 3, it goes from 6 to 9. So there's no 8-inch block in there. So as you can see, the 3 sections there, I cut according to that. However, we are going to revamp a little bit. So first of all, I'm going to show you how we got the triangles from the blocks. It tells you to cut squares, and then you're going to come down to triangles. So you're just going to cut it without moving the fabric in between. You're going to cut in diagonal one way, and then you're going to flip your ruler around and cut diagonally the other way. So it has you cutting 3 squares of both those 2 colors, or those A and B. So you're only going to need a total of 10 of each of the triangles. So we do got a couple extra that will make the 9-inch piece with. But the ones we're using down here, we're going to add to this later on in the video and make the 8-inch or 8.5-inch block we need. So we're just going to take one of each. The burger, those are the background, so or the solids, so we'll set those aside. We're going to take one of each of the triangles and we're going to put right sides together and line up that longest edge there. And we're going to sew a 1/4-inch seam all the way along that. So once we have them all sewn, we're going to go ahead and bring them to the ironing board, iron it towards the darker side of the 2. And we will need to do all of them. So there'll be 10 half square triangles by the time we're done. So I'll get that done and meet you back here. Okay, so we have them all done. And once you have them done, you're going to have them dog ears you want to snip off just up to the edge of the square. And then you want to take your ruler and you're going to cut those on the diagonal opposite of where the seam is. Once you have those completed, then you'll have 10 triangles of each direction. So this one's burgundy on the left, the other one's burgundy on the right. So you're going to actually take 2 of the same side. And you'll put those together, nest in that seam that's in the middle through it, pin that into place, making sure that the top edge is lined up well. And then you'll bring that to the sewing machine and you'll put that 1/4-inch seam along that as well. And you'll do that until you have all those used up. And then we'll press those. So here they are pressed. And in the meantime, I did do a regular one like they requested. But the regular one doesn't turn out as big as what they had us make the background fabric, though it is bigger. Our little blocks that we revamped are 2.5, and the bigger one is 3.25. So it was smaller than the green ones yet, so I'm not quite sure on that. I'll have to look more into that. But we did end up with that one of the bigger ones and then 2 of the 2.5-inch hourglasses extra. And then we also, with the pieces I cut off of that one, we ended up with a smaller that was like 1.5. So we do have a few extras. We'll probably use in a pillow or something after we get our quilt finished. So we'll set those aside. So this is what our squares all look like put together. I did have to make extra of the green ones, the solid greens. But we do want to make sure that we have all of our blocks going in the same direction. So you've seen where the reds are pointed to the sides versus up and down. So we're just going to flip those on to the middle rows, and we're going to put a 1/4 inch seam on both of those rows. Once we have those 2 rows done, then we'll open those up and come back and we'll join them all together. So then we will have 4 rows going the opposite way, all the same, all sewn together. That will be all we have left to connect. So I'll get that done and I'll meet you back here. Okay, we have all 4 of our rows sewn together. So now we're just going to iron one to the right and then the next one to the left and so forth through the block. We'll just flip our rows on top of each other with right sides together, and we will nest in those seams. This is why we do it in opposite directions, so we can nest our seams at the end here. And then we'll pin those together, and we'll do that all the way along the row, and then we'll do it also to the other section. When pinning together, because they're not exactly lined up, I went according to the uh, hourglass blocks versus the solid green blocks in as far as lining them up. And once we have those pinned together, we're going to bring it to sewing machine, take a 1/4 inch seam along both of those pinned edges. Then we're going to come back, we'll open that up. I'm having a hard time getting it to open. And we'll connect those last 2 together to make a full block. So I will get that done and I'll meet you back here. So we have our block done now. And it did come in at about 8 and between 8.5 and 8 3/4. It's really not the letter X anymore, but it is a nice pattern. I do like the block overall, and it would have been hard to trim it down to the 8.5 from the 9 without losing the pattern. So we are going to put away our card deck box 3 because as you can see, many of them have the 3 sections versus the 4th. So we won't be using that on this quilt, but we will make another quilt with that someday. So we will be drawing out of card box number 1 for our next block, which will be block number 19. And that is what we've chosen. That looks a little complicated, but in all, it looks like some 4 patches in there, so we should be good. It should look fairly easy. So be sure to check back for that one. As always, guys, if you found this video useful, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we'd love to have you here at Sew Granny Sew. Thanks all. Have a great day. Bye.